Sup, nerds? Welcome to the Omni4Game podcast, episode 29. I'm Sean. I'm joined with Chris and Brandon as always.
Alright guys, this week's Omni4Game recap. We go over our locals, we go over Sean's abysmal regional performance, we talk about what is Degenerate and how you can define it, we go over the weekly reveals, some comment questions, and a few stories here and there. So if you guys like that, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next week.
Locals recap. Who did the worst? Was it me?
Yeah, you.
Okay.
It was you.
By like one spot.
Stupid tiebreakers. I took Ruin Mode Turbo last night to practice a little bit for the regional on Saturday. And things didn't go so well, although I ended up actually making a change to the list because of it. Round 1, I played against Lugumon. I lost game 1 because I basically couldn't play. And then I 2-0'd him from there. Round 2, I played against Marcus Yellow Hybrid. And I actually just straight up watched him play the game for 2 games in a row. I think I was missing level 4 like the entire time, or like level 5. It was like one or the other, both games.
Which is pretty crazy with how much searching that deck has.
Yeah, and I just like sat there and watched him kill me. Like I think I finally saw the card I needed to see game 2, but it was like a turn too late. Like he lethaled me the turn I searched for it, or after the turn after I searched for it. Round 3, I played against Mirage. I ended up losing that 1-2. Game 1, I bricked and watched him kill me. And then games 2 and 3 were actually competitive. Game 3, he just ended up taking it just barely. And round 4, I 2-0'd Hunters. I was able to play both games. It was pretty brutal thrashing. Ended up going 2-2.
I would say, I think with Ruin Mode, I think the problem with the deck is it has to be consistently consistent. And I don't mean that like, oh, you just have to have good hands, and then you win. But like, you have to be able to consistently go into your Ruin Mode because it's going to kill itself every time you swing with it.
Yeah.
So it needs to be a consistent deck.
Yeah, that's the downside of it, because like it's not like you just go into your boss monster one time and like make them deal with it and then go into it again. It's like he deals with himself, and then you just have to go up into another one. So yeah, that's the downside of keeping your opponent from playing the game.
Sometimes you can't play yourself.
Yeah, sometimes you just don't get to the point where you can play the game.
All right, Chris.
So
how did week 2 of Armor go?
Exactly the same as the week before. I finished 6-2.
It.
Yeah, I probably would have broke top 4 if my opponent's win percentage wasn't so bad.
Maybe I could have too, dude. We both went X2. Don't.
Yeah. The what ifs.
To be fair, you're both wrong because you would have had to have gone 3-1 to crack.
Well, one of my losses was to the eventual winner.
Same. So round 1 I played against Mirage.
4 had 9 or more points.
No.
Yeah.
Anyways,
you and your math, dude. Get out of here.
Brandon, how's a tie 1 point?
But so 1 point.
But we drew.
Yeah, but we drew.
So
round 1 I played against Mirage, which is not I'm just gonna say like almost a direct counter.
It's about as bad as DP reduction is for you.
It's about So that hurt a lot.
I just armor purge forward.
I think the games were close ish.
Maybe.
I don't think I
watched you hit that ice ball at a security and I cried for you.
Yeah, I think that. Okay, so I think I could have won that.
I think I could have won that round.
You had the pieces in hand to kill him. Yeah.
You could have just bounced his Mirage back to his hand and not let him gain the memory from you swinging.
But like, he had game on board. Everything he had in hand, everything he had game. The problem is, as soon as he hit the ice ball, he lost the 2 memories, so he couldn't go into the secondary part of the play. The memory he was losing from the Mirage was part of the lethal combo.
Okay.
Yeah, that was fine. That was the Mirage. The Mirage was
a calculated risk.
Yeah, that was calculated. I knew that I was gonna be losing the memory to the Mirage.
It was
the ice ball out of security. Yeah, it was the ISO out of security that killed it for me. Just like when we did that trio turn, man, I hit his one of X antibody in his
You
security,
lost
and
a
I lost
memory, and it passed
I lost
turn.
one memory and lost the match. So yeah, so that happened with Mirage. Round 2, I played against Grayson playing Jessmon. It was 2-0. I don't. We don't need to talk about that one. Uh, Round 3, I played against Royal Knights. Almost fully alt art Royal Knights. I think
Oh
he
yeah,
said
it's
all he
like
was
almost
missing.
fully maxed out. It looks pretty nice.
Yeah, it was. Woo, all he said he was missing was like some Sistermons
And Omeka.
and
One
an
Omeka.
Yeah,
Omeka.
like an
Yeah,
event pack Omeko.
yeah. So that one was a little bit back and forth, but I was controlling his board. Like I was using like my Zudomons and my because the new Magnamon, the one that came from the structure deck with the Terriermon or the Terriermon structure deck, those two cards work really well against him because if I just one, they're not going to have any sources, and two, bouncing them back to his hand, he doesn't get to absorb them with Yggdrasil. So I just kind of controlled his board that way and slowly chipped away while I could. So I ended up 2-0ing him, and then round 4, I played against Brandon.
Yeah, how'd
I
that go for you?
think I lost 1-2. I can't remember which game it was that I absolutely thrashed him so bad
It was
that
game
I
2.
was like, I feel bad for your children. Uh,
I feel bad for your unborn children.
yeah. So, yeah, of course, that's another pretty bad matchup for me because, his Melga could just stun my stuff, or he could just be super aggro and kill me before I can do anything. I
Yeah.
will say I did like the couple changes I made to the deck, adding the Ukos, and I added one other. Oh, Davis instead of the
Yeah, instead
you
of the
or that
shoe or whatever.
shoe. Yeah, we're fine. I can see why people really like Ukomon. That card is very, very good.
Card's broken, yeah.
Very strong card.
Very
And then you
stupid.
Unless
get
your
another
opponent,
one. We get another one in the next set.
unless your opponents have multiple Digimon Emperors on the board. So yeah, I had fun with the deck. It's still a very fun deck, and for the people who are like, "How does this deck win it all?" I'm sure Sean will upload the videos when he gets to it after he's done editing and going through his log and everything, and you'll see how I kind of win. Because yes, Jesmon GX is not a consistent win condition. It is just a win condition.
Yeah.
It can win you matches.
That's like saying Blitz Omni is
Yeah,
your win con. It is
it's
a
not.
win con. It's not the win con.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
the core strategy is basically Ricky Rush. It's like champion rush the deck.
Yeah.
Also adding added the starter deck 9 VMons, the one that searches like a 2-color blue card or whatever. I added that too.
That's BT8 VMon.
BTA, okay.
BT9
That one.
searches for a free, I believe.
Okay. It was one of the starter deck VMons that adds a 2-color card. So I also put that in too to get in more synergy with the Davis, the on-play 3-cost Davis. So that was also pretty nice. So go ahead, Brandon.
I did get top 4. Yet another week where I have
Whoop-de-doo.
outshined the rest of you. God,
Alright, dude. You're clearly
Brandon, how many regionals have you played in?
0.
you're clearly the best
Okay.
duelist
I'm
among
on day
us.
shift now. We're working on it.
You've topped
Yeah.
you've topped infinite locals. Obviously that means you're the best player around.
Exactly. Dude. BDE.
Okay.
I'm not saying what that acronym
Big
stands for.
dill
but you know.
pickle energy.
Yeah, there you go. So I was playing Melga. All right, I'm back on it. I'm only ever going to be playing Melga from here on out. I played some variety. I get it. We're done.
He doesn't want to be on the
Alright.
channel anymore.
Exactly. I've gotten my shine. All right, so round 1 I played against Hunters. Game 1, the first check out of my security was a Tamer, and I immediately went panic. But then I just proceeded to OTK him the next turn when I promoted. So I panic averted, I guess. Game 2, I just OTK'd. It was very easy, very swift, very quick. I was done in maybe 5-6 minutes.
Wow. Sounds so fun.
Very cool.
Poor Solar. I mean, like, what are you gonna do when I see the one up wear promo? You're just gonna die.
Yeah, you see it all the time. I want a deck check because obviously you don't know how to count. And you don't know how many cards go on deck. So
That is a good point, Chris. We can't trust him with his math.
Brandon might need deck checks from now on, Sean.
All right, random deck check, whatever table Brandon's at.
All right. Speaking of deck checks, next I played against Ben. He swiftly O2'd me right back again. We're back on it. The only game I stole the tempo from him, I cleared out 3 of his Mega Gargos. They were gone, out of the game. They weren't bounced. They were in the garbage. They were in the trash. He couldn't touch them anymore. And I saw he bot decked one of them earlier. So I'm like, cool, no more. I can just focus on killing him. The first check was a giant missile, and I immediately lost from there. Because it outed my one stack. I had a Death X, I had a Melga, and I had a Gabu on the board. And he goes, bot deck the Melga? And I went, yeah, okay.
Yep.
So I lost from there, because of course. We tried doing another little mini match. We didn't have enough time, but I think I'm getting better at the matchup. That little third game we had was a lot more back and forth, and I did actually win. So I know how to play the matchup. It's just a few things need to happen for me to win that. And it's not something I can consistently do. So
Hope he
Don't
breaks.
play into his Mega Gargos.
Yeah,
Yeah,
don't swing when he
I
has
just
a
can't
rapid
swing
one
at
on
him.
the field.
Yeah.
You
It
tell me
goes
you
against
just
your
can't
nature
do.
as a Melga player.
Yeah, you just can't swing at him, Brandon.
What do you mean
I
I
just
can't
let
turn my
him-
card sideways?
Yeah, I just let him continuously play into Death X, and then Death X is bored continuously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he
you have
has
to
to
play a
miss
slow
it.
game versus him.
Yeah.
Or you just get blown out
Well,
by
sometimes I
Megagargo.
can't. I try to play the slow game, and then he goes, all right, double fire rocket on 1 rapid. And I'm just
Maybe
like,
that's. You know what? I'm just not thinking of it. Maybe that's why Mirage is doing better than Melga. Because it actually has like
defensive capabilities.
It has
semi-removal.
board control.
Yeah.
I mean, Melga has limited board
It
control.
has
Like, you can pop level
removal.
4s, and you can stun stuff.
It has
and bounce
Yeah,
last level.
removal at like every level.
Yeah.
But yeah, so after that, I 2-0'd Bagra. Mel's Bagra again. I mean, I just don't care what it does. Like, do your thing, have your play, put up all your tamers. I'm just gonna kill you.
Yeah, just let me know when it's my turn.
Just let me know
You
it's
have
my
30
turn so I can promote
have-
and kill you.
You have 30 Digimon under those tamers. I do not care.
Yeah, I
don't
don't
care.
care. I'm just gonna promote and start swinging.
It was so bad. I bricked game 1 and still won. Like,
Should
hard
have
brick.
mulliganed. Should have mulliganed.
I did. And the hand
Wait,
was like slightly
mulligan.
worse.
Mulligan again.
I spent the first
Yeah,
like
just
3
mulligan
turns.
more.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
spent the first 3 turns activating 3 training cards until I finally saw a rookie built in the raising, promoted, and just
Honestly, that sounds about right. That the way that Mel has that deck built, it is so painfully slow now.
Yep.
yeah.
It's like if Hunters skipped the first like 6 turns of the game.
Yeah. Because I mean,
Yep.
it's got a small Hunter's engine in it with the King
That's why I
version.
said that.
Like, it plays superior mode. See, I was never playing into that. I always had like no extra things on the board. Yeah, I just didn't care what the deck was doing. Like, at any point did I care.
Hmm.
Like, oh, cool, you get to trash one of your sources to draw cards? Are those cards going to be able to activate from your hand? No? Okay, well, your security's gone and I'm attacking for game, so congrats on having a slightly bigger hand. And then round 4...
Detaching from memory gain.
Yeah, and then I'm just over here tap my mat and gain a memory, or, activate my memory boost.
Activating memory boost. You know, it's weird because I remember when Mel built Bagra like a few formats ago, it was way quicker. It functioned more similarly to how Hunters does, where it like chips at you and then goes into a boss monster. But for some reason, the deck now just feels like super clunky and slow.
Yeah, maybe it's just we're progressing faster, but at the same time, like, I don't remember that deck ever really doing anything.
Yeah, same.
And then, of course, final round, I played against Chris. Congrats, Chris. The only game you took off of me is the game I bricked and was P-stuck. So
2 weeks in a row where I've almost got you.
almost ain't good enough.
You're right.
I will say I laughed pretty hard in his face because he went all in on one stack. I want to say I think you double fire rocketed one stack. The first check,
it was a good stack too. It had the jamming Veemon underneath it and everything.
Oh,
I'm like,
man.
this is the stack. I'm getting in all this damage.
So it flips the first one. Okay, it dies. Now it has jamming. Flips the second one. Full moon. Jam that. Back
3
in your
checks.
hand.
That was going in.
That's like when you did that versus me playing Shine, and your second check was a Wyverns.
Wyvern, yes. I'm like, here we go. Now's the moment. I'm like, I gotta get in this damage. This is a good stack. Okay, it won't die to security. Oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, that could. Okay. Yep, that happened.
Yeah, so that was fun. I mean, it was a good week, I feel like.
Mine could have been better.
Yeah, especially with what we're about to talk about.
Yeah, that's true. All right. So my regionals recap. This will be pretty brief. So I took Rune Mode Turbo. After getting bullied by Ben when we play tested earlier this week, I was going to take War Grandma and OTK, but Ben built and we tested against Numamon, and I realized that it's a pretty rough matchup because like they can pull turn when I'm trying to OTK them, and they're also like a super aggro like Ricky Rush strats, like they can outspeed me while also like basically keeping me from killing them. So
with hindsight, would War Grandma have been better?
Against the decks I played against, I think so.
But would it have been better once you got to the higher tables, assuming you did?
That's what I questioned, because like once I started playing against Numamon decks, I think I would have been like, man, I wish I was playing Rune mode. So it's kind of just like,
because that's how it is in those lower tables. You gotta
be ready for the rogue.
Yeah.
Okay, brain's still there. Yeah, lower tables is like you got to be ready for rogue stuff. It's on to those later tables where you're like, okay, so these are the consistent decks that are always winning that you're trying to play for. That's where a lot of luck comes into it.
Yeah, a lot of RNG in our game still, unfortunately. So I did make a change.
Side deck to fix that.
Yes, I would like a side deck. I did make a change to my list based on playing Friday night. And I made that change after either round 1 or round 2. I didn't actually make the change to my deck like in the locals tournament, but I took a picture. I like laid my deck out and took another picture to submit a new list for the tournament. I cut my 4th BT13 Marcus and put a 2nd BT12 Shine in. And I will say because it was a different art, because I had to borrow one in Chris and Brandon's non-alt arts.
Low rarity,
Well, I knew every time I drew it that it was that card.
It was the one.
Yeah. And every time I drew it, it felt good. So like that was definitely a good call. I really.
So what was the ratio beforehand? It was.
I was playing 4 BT13 Marcuses and 1 BT12 Shine, and I just cut it
3 and 2.
Yeah, cut a Marcus to add a 2nd BT12 Shine.
Okay.
So
yeah, because that gives you 6 megas instead of just 5.
Yeah, so it lets me see my megas a little more consistently, which is what I bricked on like a couple of games Friday night, and a couple of the games that I played, it was the only mega in my hand that let me Rune mode people in the regional, so like it definitely paid off. Every time I drew it, I never was like, dang, I wish this was a Marcus. So that was definitely a good choice. I was really happy with that decision. Round 1. I played against Magnamon Armor, which is actually a good matchup for me. So
Let's tell.
I was like, oh, cool. This is a good matchup for me. So like I'll wake up, I'll knock all the rust off this match, and I'll be good to go smooth sailing the rest of the tournament. I proceed to brick on level 4's game 1, which in hindsight, what I should have done, because what I did was I just hoped to have enough turns to see a level 4, and then once I saw level 4, I had Rune mode in my hand. Like I could have Rune moded him and just locked him out of the game the rest of the game and just killed him. So I was being a little too patient. what I should have done in hindsight is hard played my level 5 like almost immediately and forced him to deal with it. Yeah, and just be like, if you don't deal with this, you're getting ruin moded and you just lose this game. So that was definitely a mistake. I should have done that. Game 2, ruin mode does ruin mode things versus armor decks. I won pretty easily. Game 3 was really close, but I also had a misplay. He double awakeninged into a Magna X when I had a standing ruin mode and 2 BT12 Marcuses on my field, and he had like 3 security, and he chipped me down to where I had 0 security, and his Magna X was like 17,000 DP.
Hold on, can he awakening into Magna X?
I'm pretty sure it's Digimon with Magnamon in its name.
I thought it was armor form, or am I thinking about Fire Rocket?
Hold on,
because I know you can't Fire Rocket with Magna X on the board.
You may Digievolve one of your Digimon with armor form and its traits into a Magnamon and a card with Magnamon in its name.
Okay.
So he had a Magna X suspended that was like 17,000 DP. They couldn't have its DP reduced.
Right.
So what I should have done is I should have paid for both my Marcuses and swung twice at his security, because I had the Recovery Rise Greymon in my Shine Greymon Ruin Mode stack. And my mistake was I assumed he would redirect one attack. So I just paid for one Marcus and swung with it, and he just let it go through, and I checked a rookie and survived, and I was like, oh no. Because then I don't recover, because he had just pushed out a Raising, so like he didn't have anything coming out of Raising. So if I had paid for both, and if that second check had died, if the second Marcus had died and I recovered, I don't think he kills me. He potentially could have had like the Justmon GX like combo,
yeah.
But I could have forced him to have that instead of just being like, yeah, I can't do anything. You win.
Because you're at what, 0 security?
Yeah, at 0 security. And that was his only body on the field. So I ended up taking that because of that play. If he hadn't done that, if I had somehow kept him from killing me on the next turn, he was not winning that game, because I was just going to continuously ruin mode him, and he didn't have any more awakenings, so like he wasn't going to be able to play. Round 2, I played against Lugamon. He was missing pieces like both games for like ever, and I just ruin moded him repeatedly until he died. Like both games were really long, because we were both like just searching for pieces the whole time. I think his mistake was he was holding out for Soul Lugermon instead of just accepting that he has a hell and going into the hell to combo off. But he was like trying to get like his perfect stack, which I think it was his mistake. And
sometimes you just have to go for it.
Yeah.
Like in my footage, you'll see coming up whenever Sean gets to it. There were many times where I just evoed into Chimera, tucked a card, blew up something on the board with neg DP, and then called it a day.
Yeah. He popped off on me, I think, once both games, but at that point I had like 6 to 7 security and nothing on nothing on the field, so like he wasn't going to kill me. So I won that too. Round 3, I played against Red Hybrid. He opened Yukamon both games and won the die roll, and I lost the match in about 15 minutes. Nothing I can really do there. That deck is just consistently faster than Ruin Mode Turbo, so like it's probably your worst matchup. Round 4, I played against Phoenixmon Tribal, so like Biomon, Phoenixmon.
Oh, you're in the bottom tables.
Yeah, I was X2 after 3 rounds.
Yeah, it's X2, Brandon.
I'm saying, as soon as I hear Phoenix, I'm like, ugh.
I was excited though when we started playing, because I've never seen that deck function. So I was like, cool.
That guy was there for fun.
Yeah, he was.
Who goes to a regional and goes, I want to play Phoenix. I want to play Bird.
That guy, obviously.
Congrats, I guess.
So I was excited because I was like, cool, I get to see this deck play. Like, I've never seen this deck like function. I've never seen any gameplay whatsoever, which is bad because I don't know what to play around as well.
Everything has on deletions, basically.
Yeah. So I haven't, besides talking about game 1, like round 1, I was not playing well. Like I was not in a good headspace for some reason. I was playing very poorly. and that was leading to like I was either
Massive misplays.
I was misplaying, and it was either like almost costing me games or just straight up costing me games. But versus the Phoenixmon player, he actually won game 2, and yeah, and game 3 I actually misplayed, and it should have cost me the match, but he actually misplayed on his last turn and basically threw it back to me. Like I threw it, and he was like, "No, you got it." And I won. I ended up winning despite my misplay because he misplayed. That deck's really cool though. I'm excited to see it whenever it gets the support it gets in BT16 because it does. It seems like a cool deck.
Yeah, but it doesn't have Greymon in it, so are you really excited?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't say I'm gonna build it. I just think it's a cool looking deck. It's just interesting. It just like everything floats into itself. I mean, it makes sense that it's Phoenixmon because everything just like comes back.
That's like the whole idea.
Yeah, but it's pretty cool. But in between rounds, I was talking to Ben and Josh, who were also both playing in the regional. I think Josh dropped after round 3 because he was X2 after round 3. And Ben lost round 4 to drop down to X2. And we were all talking about it, and Ben was like, yeah, I'm probably going to drop. He's like, I don't want to play like 5 more hours to like hope to like tiebreakers sneak into top 16. Because like at that point, his tiebreakers were like potentially good enough to sneak into top 16, depending on if he like won out and like how well people he lost to did. But I was thinking about it, and I was like, well, my tiebreakers aren't that good. And I probably don't want to play 5 more hours to maybe win 2 more event pack 6s, which have like, it's probably like one of our worst event packs we've had since like one of the early ones. So I went and like looked up the prize support, saw it was in event pack 6, and I was like, yeah, this isn't worth it. So I dropped 2 after round 4. I probably was going to continue to misplay the rest of the day. I don't know what was wrong with my brain, but it just wasn't working very well. So that is my recap.
So in other words, drop shine Maroon Mode down from S tier. No longer S tier. Now it's A tier.
I think I would probably agree with that. I think it needs to be more consistent. Like,
hold on, boys. We're not doing that topic this week.
I think it needs to be more consistent in order to truly be considered S tier. If it sees its stuff, it's S plus tier, but you could say that for other decks too. So I think it's unfair to keep it at S tier. What is Degenerate? So Brandon, I'll let you take this away since I'm still not 100% sure what you're going to say.
So I want to know what you guys would consider to be degenerate decks. Because I'm going to tell you what I think a degenerate deck is. A degenerate deck is what I play. I play degenerate decks. I play decks that have little thought involved and no interaction with my opponent. It's not security control. Security control is not a degenerate strategy. It's what I do. The amount of times I see comments going, oh, Melga, and it's a 5-minute video, I know what to expect. Yeah, that's what I'm here for. What I play is degenerate. What Sean plays with Ruin Mode, that's a little degenerate. When it pops off, that's degenerate.
Yeah.
Chris, he is degenerate.
At this point, Brandon, I don't think you like playing the game, Brandon. I think you just like winning. You just like winning, and you're like, this will get me the win.
I just want to play solitaire. You just sit over there and watch me touch myself.
Yeah.
I think something that's extremely degenerate that thankfully we didn't have to deal with was Apocalypse, because we talked about the card, but I never really went and watched like how the deck worked.
Oh, it was awful.
Yeah, I watched a couple matches to see how I was like, okay, is it really that bad? And I'm like, oh my god, this is worse than what I thought.
It's 100% bad.
True tier
because
zero,
this guy,
basically.
Yeah, this guy was playing it with the Apocalypse at 1, saw just the one Apocalypse, and then still won that. And I'm like, okay, so even if you just see the one, if they can't immediately answer this, like, they just lose.
Oh yeah, like
you're done.
If you feel lucky, you can still run Apocalypse at full power.
Like, that's absolutely bananas and crazy in my opinion. That's degenerate. I think DP reduction I don't think it's degenerate. I think it can be a little unfair sometimes. but that's just me.
I
I just don't think there's enough to counter DPE reduction. Is what I mean.
Like the
Yeah, there's
part
only a few
of
cards that
ruin mode
resist
that
it.
makes it degenerate is it's a blanket effect, and you could do it multiple times back to back.
Yeah. I think decks that do not interact, like they lack interaction with your opponent, are degenerate. I think that's like my definition.
So like Altamon.
Yeah, so like red hybrid, that's degenerate. There's no interaction there. They turn their card sideways and check all your security. They don't really care what's going on your board. Ruin mode turbo, degenerate. It interacts with your board, but once that's done, its main goal is to keep you from being able to play the game, which I think is degenerate. Ragno OTK is degenerate. You promote and kill them. War Greymon OTK is degenerate. You promote and kill them. There's no interaction there. That's super degenerate. I think security control is one of the most interactive decks that we have. And by my definition, it's like the opposite of degenerate. People just don't like it because they don't understand how to play against it.
Yes. Okay, this is the perfect example.
No, I don't even think it's that.
Well,
I don't even think it's that.
Yeah, you need to go to the channel and you need to watch the 2 games that Sean played with security control that are very clearly not how you play that matchup.
Yeah.
It was what, Alphamon and
Shine Greymon.
And Shine Greymon. That's not how you play that matchup.
They both decked themselves out by their own doing one game out of the match. Like I did not. That was not my goal. They did it to themselves very quickly.
That is objectively not how to play that matchup. Yeah. If you are struggling against that matchup, I hate to say it's you.
I think
you are.
It's not that. I think it's people will always remember. Oh, I checked this out of their security. Oh, this bomb hit me. This chaos degradation hit me. Or this Wyvern's Breath kit got me, or this Heaven's Judgment got me. It's not that, they just hate that because of that deck. Because one of the Brandon, what do you always do? What do you always do when you hit a bomb out of security? Doesn't matter what deck you're playing against. You slam your hand on the table and you go, I hate this game because what does Gardevoir have? Protection. You rage. And what happens in that deck? You hit more bombs out of security than normal decks. That's what people hate.
But the thing is, you have to break that mental hang-up. I have that mental hang-up. And that's because
I just swing. I'm like, hey, I'm going in. Yeah.
Yeah. If I'm playing against a normal deck, and I happen to hit one of their 2 to 3 removal cards, because I know, like, oh, they're only playing, like, 1 or 2. Like, Solar, he plays 1 Gaia Force. When I hit that 1 Gaia Force out of security, and it's the 1 check where I don't have, like, evade or something like that, it's tilting.
The token Gaia Force.
Yeah,
exactly. That's what people remember. What people remember.
When you're playing against security control, you need to break that idea in your head and just remember, every time I check security, I'm probably losing this body.
Yeah, just assume you're checking a bomb.
Every check you get after that should be considered a blessing.
Mm-hmm. It's all gravy.
Yep. That's how you have to think about the matchup.
Yeah.
And of course, I think the most degenerate part of that matchup is honestly the Tamers. I think Dakari, a little degenerate. I think just being able to have 4 Kari and then saying to your opponent, hey, good luck swinging at me, I guess.
I'd agree. But, I mean, the odds of them...
That's having all 4?
Yeah.
Them having all 4 out's pretty
low,
bad if you just have a memory setter because you just swing and it passes turn, which is pretty bad.
Yeah, but it's not like security control's like, I'm going to choke you to 1 now.
Yeah.
No, normally what is a lot of memory.
What is their turn? What is their turn? Oh, I'm going to hard play this Magnum or this Magnum.
A 4-cost Magnum now.
Magnum
but if you out it, you get 3 free memory, which is nice.
Yeah, so again, it's not... So,
yeah, or they Ace a Zulong you and you out that entire stack and you get 7 memory. That's pretty nice.
7 memory, yeah.
So I think degenerate decks are decks that like nobody has fun, like, or degenerate cards or something like that, or like nobody's having fun
when
here.
it was tier 0.
BT8 Imperial.
I had fun with that.
BT8 Imperial was degenerate. They just promoted and just wombo comboed you.
Like we have had at least bare minimum. Yeah, we have at least had at bare minimum 1 degenerate strategy in every format. Like even 1.0, you could look at Blue Omni and call that the degenerate deck of the format.
They
And
didn't
then
just promote.
1.5.
They didn't promote and kill you though. That was interactive.
Yeah.
I think if they can promote you and kill you without like any worry, that's
Luga.
degenerate.
Yeah.
Luga is the definition of a degenerate
Yeah,
strategy.
Luga's super degen.
But like even like 1.5, you could look at full power Sarismon and be like, that's degenerate. Thankfully, that got hit for us.
I would say I would say it's an unfair deck, but
Yeah, but they had HPD at 4. That's degenerate.
I mean,
It's
that
like
is-
you say, Sean, fair and balanced. Now imagine that at 4. That's
is
4
true.
fair and balanced.
I guess I forgot it had all of the HPDs because like
Yeah, full power
Sarismon's
Saris.
Sarismon's effect requires you to have something in play to abuse you. So like there is interaction there,
But there
yeah,
were no strategies back there where you could just promote and kill. The
Yeah.
only one that was even close was All Force. And maybe 1.5
No,
Imperial.
That's inconsistent Alt Force too. Super inconsistent.
And they had
Alt Force.
4 Argomons that was spawning bodies for them multiple turns, and
Yeah.
the Mimi
The-
spawning
the-
them from the raising
the 4
area.
HPDs, yeah, make it degen. You're right.
Degen AF.
Bring it back.
Yeah.
And then BT4, we had...
Tyrannomon.
No. Chris,
Super
go to your room.
degenerate.
Go to your
Super
room.
degenerate. I am here.
I was hoping Sean would say Lord Nightmon.
BT4? No, I would not say Lord Nightmare.
Oh, that's BT5, right?
correct.
Okay. BT4, what was... Maybe not. Maybe BT4, there was
The
nothing degenerate.
degenerate strat in BT4 was green OTK, but even then,
Yeah.
it wasn't an actual OTK, and it was like it was relatively inconsistent because it was a green deck. War Greymon was interactive because they interacted with your board when they popped off and checked your security twice and swarmed the board.
But you can even look at like a BT6 Double Diamond and say, oh, Gabu Bond. Pretty DJ, especially once we got EX1 and we had access to 4 Ice Wall.
Yeah. 4 Ice Wall, Gabubon was pretty degenerate.
Yep. The people before Japan, overseas, man, the things they had to deal
lasted
with.
in that format for a while.
That's what we got to look forward to when we catch up with Japan is having to go through formats like Japan did.
Yeah.
God. D-Gen was a 4-copy Savior Jespon. Because they were way more consistent back in the day. And they were more at
Was it
speed with
consistent?
they were more at speed with where the game was at that moment.
Yeah, because there wasn't in BT6, in BT7, and BT8 there weren't really like a lot of OTK strategies besides like I wouldn't even really call Gabubon an OTK strategy. They had to hit you a few times before they could actually lethal you.
Right.
But Jesmon could promote and kill you with 1 stack through 5 security.
And then, the Blitz Omni comes down and you're just like...
Yeah, and
Panic.
with Chimeramon, they could spawn 2 sisters.
That's true, Chimeramon. That is when Chimeramon
go
came
into
along.
a second stack if the first stack died to something.
I just wanted to get a general discussion about what we think degeneracy is. And I think we're all on the same page. It's what I play.
Yeah, I also...
Uninteractive decks.
I don't like I don't like playing against interactive decks, but I have a tendency to build them if the meta is also uninteractive.
Allowing.
Like, I fight fire with fire.
Yeah, like Sean over here playing full power Black War Greymon against all them full power cross art decks and said, come at me.
Yeah, that's right. But that was,
No interaction for you.
Black War was super interactive, though. Like, that wasn't unfair. The cross deck at full power was pretty unfair because they were
That
Rookie
was
Rush you and
degenerate.
yeah, that was degenerate.
Rookie Rush could have been
dunked on
degenerate.
them, though.
Rookie Rush before Crimson Blaze was a card.
I mean, yeah, because people would have to tech in stuff like Volcanic Dramon. Remember that?
Yup.
Here's
God.
8 memory.
Yeah.
Wipe your board. All right, here's all of my board again. Here's another Volcanic Dramon. I don't have a hand.
My favorite 2-card combo versus Rookie Rush back then when I was playing Red Omni is Volcanic Dramon and Alter S in my hand.
Yeah.
So I would Volcanic Dramon their board and they'd be like, oh, 10 memory, cool. I'm going to just empty my hand And I'm like, okay, my turn again. Evo and Alter S, clear your board. Okay, you're literally top decking. The game's over.
You've lost.
Yeah, I have the high ground.
It's over, Anakin.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like it when there's no interaction. That's why I'm really excited about actually having good ace level 6s and ace level 7s, because that will increase the interaction against these uninteractive strategies.
Yeah, so unfortunately, a lot of my decks are undirectly or indirectly taking hits, because now it's going to be a little more defensive style with how the aces work and stuff like that.
Yes.
So, feels bad for me.
Swinging at somebody could be a death wish once we start getting like EX6 and BT17. Like, you could straight up just lose the game on the spot because you attacked them.
Yeah. I think they need to introduce side decks. We
need side decks.
Like, we're at the point where we need it.
Yeah.
God.
I mean, I think the game is in a super healthy spot right now. I don't think there's like one deck that counters or is like better than everything right now.
No, I think the last ban list
Red Hybrid, but like Red Hybrid, but like I don't think it's that. I don't think it's like tier 0.
They have literally 0 defensive options. So you're hoping that your offense is going to be able to consistently win, and sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes you just get hit by like a stray Venus or something like that, and it just completely shuts you down, and you're like, oh, okay. Or you open up oops all tamers, and you're just like, oh, okay.
Side decks would let you tech silver bullets for your 1 or 2 bad matchups without hurting your consistency versus the decks you have good matchups versus. That's what I like about side decks.
Yeah. Me and Ben were talking about how many cards we'd allow in a side deck. I still think this perfect spot is 5.
Yeah, I'd be fine with 5.
5?
I mean, I would be, if they gave us more, cool, but I would, 8 would be kind of a weird number. I would be happy with 5. If they gave us a 5-card side deck, I would be satisfied. That's enough for a
full playset and a 1-of. Yeah. Or a 3-2 or something like that.
Those numbers do add up to 5. You are right, Brandon.
Well, that's why I did. That's why I did 8, because it could be two play sets of 4 or multiple of 2.
That's fair. Yeah. Basically 5 is like my minimum. But
anything after that's just a plus.
Yeah, anything over that, I'd be super cool. Like if they went up to 15, dope. Please give me 15 cards.
God. Imagine being able to completely change how your deck functions.
Conversion side? Yes. If we got a 15-card side deck, we could conversion side into stuff.
I have Greymon OTK. Okay, what's your side deck? Black War Grey X.
Yeah, Black War X, because I'm playing against another control deck. Yeah, I think that'd be cool. You could do some weird stuff, too, because of how some archetypes like blend into each other, like Shine and Greymon and Black War.
Yep.
Like, they all end in Greymon.
Imagine being able to build a Grey OTK and then having a Ruin Mode Turbo package in your side and being able to like have that cross-pollinate.
Yeah, like you could legitimately probably do it with a 15-card side deck. It'd be weird.
Imagine playing Shine Grey, Burst Mode, and Ruined Mode and being able to pick which one depending on the matchup.
That is also true. No, Yu-Gi-Oh's 15.
Yeah, okay. 15 is crazy because they only have a 40-card deck, right?
Their maximum deck size is 60, though.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That's right.
I don't know how many Magic has, but I'm assuming it's 15.
Magic has a side deck? Can't their decks be like 100 cards?
It depends on the format you're playing.
Yeah, I think Commander's the only deck format that has 100-card decks, and those are all 1-ofs.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure their side decks are 15 cards. Which is why, ideally I'd like our side decks to be 15 cards, but if it's only 5, I would accept it.
Yeah, because like I could look at my Melga deck right now and be like, all right, let's say we're going into BT17, and I'm still playing this deck, because that's how I be. All right, cool. In my side deck, I'm putting Paladin mode, a full playset.
Paladin.
Assuming you lose to purple strategies, yeah, that'd probably be a good call.
I mean, just playing any blue ace would be sick.
Man, I'm legit playing either Agubond or Crimson mode in every red deck from BT17 forward. What?
When are we getting those? Do we know?
The Agubond, it's an
Yeah, the
LM
bonds.
card. So whenever we get that LM wave is when we get the
Man.
bond cards.
I'm so excited for that.
Right,
I am too, but
right in the middle of a set that you want that you don't want it to be in.
I
Put
would
it in
be
BT16.
those cards are
I'll
good
take it.
though. Like those aren't like random like
Right,
Digimon
right.
Survive
Digimon,
promos that no one wants.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are gonna be nasty because you're playing against somebody and they're like no blocker. I'm like no blocker, dude.
No blocker.
Swing. All right.
How big's your dude?
Any other effects? No. Blast Evo into Agubond. He's like 25,000 DP, so just put all of that stuff in the trash.
Yeah, just scoot it out of here.
Yeah, just get it off the field. Get it off my field, dude. This is my field now. I'm the captain now.
Aim the captain.
Yeah, like I was watching some gameplay of the Mastamon from EX6, and the person swung, and they blast evoed, and it just like wiped their board.
Yep.
Yeah, going forward after we get BT 17 onward, if your opponent has a level 6 on the board, dude, just panic.
Or level 5 for EX6, because that's Mastamon.
Do we... Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right. Does Black not have any option for that?
If you play specifically Ragnar Lordmon's Mega or their 2 Megas, then yes.
Yep.
Also, you could play War Greymon and play the Ace Omni. If you're
Fair.
playing Black.
But just like generically, Black doesn't have one right now?
They get
Do they
one.
even-
They get Vicomon in...
Well, okay, I'm talking level 7. Look, let me specify.
Oh, sorry.
Because every color now has one now, right? Well, no, because I guess purple, you'd have to say Moste would be there. No, because she's a 6.
She's a 6, and she's specifically Angel Woman.
Yeah.
and-
I hate to interrupt this, Brandon, but Drew won the title.
Okay, everybody knew that.
Okay, go ahead. Continue.
This guy, dude. Chris is watching WrestleMania while we're recording this. For those of you that can't tell, where the reflection.
Yeah,
of his
Social
glasses.
media sucks. Social media sucks. Everything will get spoiled.
Just don't look on it. Get off and watch the match and stay off your
But
phone.
he has to open his Twitter. Listen, Chris is a
God,
Twitter guy.
X.
Alright? He's that guy.
Yeah.
Sorry, X. Ooh. Ugh. He's that guy who reads something on Twitter and goes, oh, dude, I'm taking this as absolute fact.
You
That's
think
not
someone
true.
would do that? Just go on the internet and tell lies?
Brandon, you read just the
Exactly.
headline and go, I'm not going to read any further.
That's all I needed to know.
I've seen all I need to see.
Yeah.
Plastic containers cause cancer. Alright, getting rid of all my plastic. Definitely don't look into the fact you have to, like, microwave it into oblivion and so on and so forth.
So anyways, Degenerate. Lack
Chris.
of interaction.
Yeah, it's just a lack of interaction.
Yeah.
When your opponent cannot play the game, not because they drew bad, or okay, I would say before we had mulligans, the game was degenerate.
The game was degenerate.
There's so many non-games because your opponent just opened like all the level 6s and they weren't playing Megazoo.
Yeah. So
Oops, all level 6.
yeah. So when you literally make it to where your opponent cannot play the game, like that's just degenerate. It's not fun.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes there are decks where it's just like, oh, hey, I see all my pieces, and I'm just going to go in and do a lot. And then your opponent's playing something like, I don't know, Bagra, and then go, oh, wow, this deck sucks. And it's just like, no, maybe your deck is just super slow.
Yeah, maybe you just are coping and you need to actually build something that's not F tier.
Maybe, and I understand everybody has decks they like to play and they have fun with, and they're like, I just want this deck to be really good. And that's fine. But don't be like, oh, it's what my opponent's playing. Think about it and be like, maybe it's me. Maybe it's not
me.
security control. Maybe it's me.
Yeah,
You know what
like don't be surprised when you lose to tiers 1, 2, and 3 when you're playing your like copium like pet decks. You
Right.
you can play them, Just fine. Just don't
Like-
complain when you lose to good decks.
Some decks will eventually get enough support, I think, genuinely,
Oh yeah.
to be viable. Like, look at Numamon. That deck has been a literal poop deck.
So many ways to
But-
support, dude.
They threw so much poop at the wall. They're like, eventually some of this is going to
Eventually
land.
something stuck.
Yeah, eventually this will work.
Someone will figure something out with all these cards we keep printing for no reason.
Right.
Ironically, it's probably when they finally gave it the X antibody line. Like most decks, the X antibody line was that little push they needed to be better.
Yeah, it actually is. After having played the deck, the X antibodies are the best cards in the deck.
Yeah. So, Sean, he has learned the Agu X and the Cool Boy, actually good choices. So,
Good call. Those are good cards in the deck. I liked that. I tweaked the list a little bit to my liking, but I did build Numamon and test it, and it's very good.
so Sean is now a poop stan. Sean is now officially a pooper.
I wouldn't go that far. I haven't physically put the deck together. I haven't touched the poop, and I have no poop on my hands.
I was
No,
watching
you get a
yours
stick.
and
You poke it with a stick.
I was watching yours and Ben's gameplay, and like how many times you took stuff back and redid it. I'm like, if this was like in round, Sean would be kicking himself right now.
Oh yeah, dude, we were
They weren't just playtesting.
brandoning the hell out of each other, but it was because we had just built the Numamon
Right,
decks
yeah.
like 30
Nah.
minutes before, so we were like figuring out how to play them while we were testing versus each other.
We are not slandering me anymore for this crap
are.
after what Chris pulled on Friday.
No, we still
we
are.
are in a tournament.
Uh-huh.
All right, we are in the
Oh,
middle
no.
of a game. All right, and this dude does a play, Chris, that is, does a play, attacks my security, has all his cards already done. My security's been checked. It's like minutes later, and he goes, grabs his training card, puts it in the trash, and gives himself 2 memory, and goes, "I used that when I evoed into this."
I
What?
did. Brandon, you can
What?
say this all you want. No
What?
one saw it happen. There was no camera. Oh no, Brandon. Damian Priest about to cash in.
Good.
Turn off the
Damn it.
TV. Turn off the TV.
I'm paying attention.
You literally aren't. You
Yes, I
literally
am.
aren't.
I literally am.
All I'm
God,
saying
you're like a
is y'all
tablet
gonna
kid.
roast me for that crap? All right. At least
Always.
if I try to do a takesy backsy, either A, I'll just accept it and be like, whatever, or B, it's immediately what I just did. Chris waited a good 2 minutes, basically finished his turn, cracked a mental training or whatever training whatever it
No,
was,
my
Mental's a
turn,
blue.
as you say, was not over.
and basically treated
Okay,
it like
I
a
was at
blue
one memory. I was at 1 memory, and I said, "Oh, I meant to activate this when I did this," and I was still
No,
at 3.
you were at 0. Game 2,
Okay.
hard played a rookie to choke me to 1.
So what's funny is Brandon and Chris told me this after the round was over, and once they explained it to me, I was like, "Oh, so you pulled a Brandon?"
It's rude.
I mean, I'm happy that he did it to
Absolute rude.
you because
All I'm saying
out of anyone,
Is he did a much worse takesy backsy than I ever have.
he did.
That's
but,
not even true.
But I think it's fair that he did it to you.
And he had a much worse analog interaction. All I'm saying, they're both.
Yeah, but the analog youths weren't in his deck, Brandon. We've gone over this.
I would
Brandon, you
argue
literally
that's worse.
came to a tournament with 47 cards in your deck.
You played.
You come to a
4
tournament
rounds
without a
at
full deck in
locals.
your brain.
Yeah, there's no getting past the 47 card deck. The deck profile's on the channel. Someone can watch
so
it.
is Chris not knowing what analog youth does for
Yeah,
an
but they-
entire game. Entire
His mistake
match.
was trusting his opponent, knowing what their cards did. That was his mistake. It's not like he put them
Yeah.
in his deck and then used them incorrectly.
Thank you. For
I didn't use it incorrectly either. I just didn't use it.
Yeah, which I would say is using them incorrectly.
I love how defensive he gets.
No, I just find it bologna that this dude over here doesn't get roasted nearly as hard.
No, he
Comment-
does.
comment-
Chris gets ethered in the comments of his matches where he
Always.
doesn't know what his deck does. Have you
Hey.
not seen them?
Okay,
It's
so that's kind of
comment
those
section.
comments.
Dude, people
I'm talking about-
complain
I'm talking
so
about you.
much.
You
Me?
need to roast Chris more. Yeah.
Comment section, back me up. Did I do what Brandon claims I did? Did I activate my mental training after I digivolved or before? Like I properly should. Back me up in the comment section down below.
Obviously,
They'll decide.
you chatted and pulled a Brandon and retroactively did it.
So
Or
rude.
Chris digivolved and then drew and went, oh wait, I meant to do this. That's what you do, Brett. Oh, I meant to do this. That's what I did.
He drew like 3
So he
cards,
claims.
checked by security.
I would say Chris
Yeah,
takes more
okay.
heat in the comments than you do.
I'm talking about
But
in this scenario.
I also
I just think it's funny to make fun of you
support.
because you take backsies in the middle of tournaments.
Why are we
Chris
letting
just
Meg
doesn't.
talk so
Chris
much?
just doesn't read his cards. But
When
we've
was
gone.
the
That's a
last-
meme. We've gone over that.
Win.
Wait, why are we letting Meg talk so much? Meg, shut up, Meg. Okay, what's next?
Chris doesn't read his cards, and Brandon takes backsies.
No.
Yes.
All right, so weekly reveal. Since we're done talking about what is degenerate.
Yeah, what's degenerate is you and your opinions.
Comment down below what you think is degenerate and why. And I'm not talking security control because I lose to that deck. That's not good enough. That's not good enough.
Yeah, give us a reason. All right. Weekly reveals. Muchomon from Starter Deck 18. Rookie. Data. Avion.
Ruka.
Yeah, I looked at Rookie and went to Data and just
Ruka.
like my brain. I'm telling you, this weekend has not been good for me. My brain don't work good. All turns, once per turn, when an effect suspends its Digimon, one of Digimon with the Bird or Avion in one of its traits, or with the Vortex Warrior trait, gets plus 3000 DP until the end of your opponent's turn. Inheritable is Piercing.
Okay, I'd say it's nice purely just because it's a level 3 that gives piercing. The
Yeah.
regular effect, I want to see the whole deck function before I even attempt to say that's good.
Yeah, it's...
Inherit, good. First effect,
I would
Yeah.
agree with that assessment. Then we have... If this will load...
That is adorable.
it's a very cute Wanyamon. I just wish it was like the good Wanyamon, not of the promo.
And
Right.
these are winner arts of Tamer Battle Pack 22, which I don't even know what Wanyamon that is. We don't have these cards yet.
Yeah, we don't have them yet.
Yeah. Anyways, Doggymon.
Ew. Oh my god.
Interesting.
Why is every subsequent card I see for this yellow starter deck making me not want to play this yellow starter
Makes me
deck?
uncomfortable. On play / on deletion, not once per turn, one of your opponent's Digimon gains security attack -1 until the end of their turn.
Ew.
I mean, it's a four,
Meh.
it's a 4 to hard play, I guess.
If you can't play this for free, this deck is trash.
Yeah.
And even then, jury's
The
still
level
out.
6 better carry some weight. The
Yeah.
level 5 and the level 6 need to carry.
Yeah, because like this is the first starter deck we've had that's not been an advanced deck
In a while.
and so like I think it's
There's
just
gotta be
not
some reason.
it's just not going to be good. I think that's the issue because like before we started getting advanced decks for Beals and Bunnies, the
The
previous
starter
starter
decks
decks
were pretty
like
mid.
yeah, they were not that good. Like you could take like a couple of cards out of them and play those, but like the deck itself is just like you're not playing most of these cards.
Yeah.
They just exist.
Like I'd say the best starter deck we probably had so far is probably the Melga one. You could get the most pieces out of it. You got a 3, a 4, a 5, and a 6 that were all playable, and a Tamer.
yeah.
Yeah,
true.
see, I would have said that one in the War Greymon one, but then I was like, wait, the Melga deck actually had a bunch of cards you could just take
Yeah.
from.
Yeah, the War Gray was just like you can play some of those cards, but for the most part, in most strategies, they don't really fit
Yeah.
because they decided to make everything black. Thanks, Bandai. Kiwimon, on play / on deletion, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon. Rule trait has vegetation type.
They just randomly put in
Bloom
Bloom
Lord.
support, I guess.
Yeah, this is randomly bloom support. Good job, Bandai. Keep it up.
It's a 3 to hard drop as well.
Yeah.
So just generic Bloom support, I
You
guess.
probably wouldn't play this in Bloom because like your level 4 lineup is probably the tightest spot in the deck.
Yeah, with all your Sunflowers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know how it is. Anytime we see that vegetation, you're like, "Ah, bloom."
Oh yeah, I mean
Um,
it's like it's the only green deck in existence because it's the only green deck that gets support. Daramon, Ultimate Data Avian, blocker. On deletion, you may play one Digimon card with bird, avian, vegetation, or plant, one of its traits, and 3,000 DP or less from your hand without paying the cost. Rule trait has vegetation type.
Yeah, so this is the bad level 5 in the starter deck.
Yeah, what?
Agreed.
This is the pack. This is the starter deck filler line, essentially.
Yeah.
There's always a filler line.
So disappointing.
Agreed.
Fluffymon. When attacking once per turn, you may suspend one of the Digimon with as much or less DP as this Digimon. So that can be yours or your opponent's, which is interesting.
Okay.
I actually vibe with that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's just like a cool effect. Like,
Now-
okay,
That's the most
Why
playable card
do-
I've read so far.
So
Right.
you can combo this with I think it's called what was the keyword they gave the green deck, where you can switch your attack target.
Vortex.
I think
You might be right.
Is Vortex
Something like that. This combo is
And
really
Sean
well with
said,
that.
"I'm not paying attention." Yeah, it's
this
true.
combo's
If
really well with it. Because you can
'cause-
now
'cause you're-
spend something and make it a valid target to attack.
and make it a target.
True. Yeah. True.
And if you have piercing, there you go.
Boom.
Now the level 6 just needs
Hey,
to be able to unsuspend. Because
we need a good level 5 and a good level 6. The gears are turning.
So when you attack, you have to declare the attack target. So like you can't then attack.
that's what I'm saying. The
into
level 6 needs to be able to unsuspend.
Okay. Fair.
Also, I have a problem with his name. He's not fluffy. He's feathery. Proceed.
You're right. That is not Stitch.
Proceed.
They called Stitch Fluffy in the movie, Sean.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. Kyaromon. When attacking once per turn, if you have another Digimon, draw one.
Okay.
Okay, that's generally pretty good.
Especially since this deck like spawns tokens, so I assume it's going to count. Tokens get counted for that, right?
Yeah, if they're Digimon. Yeah.
They get counted for like Crimson Blaze, yeah. So of
Yeah.
course.
They're Digimon. Yeah, generic
Bird.
draw power is good.
Always.
Oh
We
my god.
have-
This card is-
Biomon, rookie vaccine Burb, has Fortitude.
just Fortitude.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, I like Fortitude. Fortitude's a
On a
good
level
card
3.
effect.
Mm-hmm.
Notice how it evos for 1. with
Evo's for one no
alternate
matter
Evo
what. There's no
condition.
alternate Evo cost, yeah.
Never mind, I hate it.
Yeah.
I was waiting for you to tell us if it like Digivolved for less, but I was like, he would have said that already.
Yeah, I would have said that. The only text on this card is Fortitude.
Yep,
Fortitude.
okay.
This card's pretty nice. This is
Yeah.
beautiful.
Green Memory Boost,
Yeah, it's
reprint,
just a
alt
cool
art. This looks really good. Too bad green sucks.
Yeah, I love the green like cards in the art.
Yeah.
Then we have a higher quality of the training
training.
wisdom reprint. X Tyrannomon.
This is what I'm talking about. I love this. This is a beautiful little guy. Oh my god, there's plushes of Agumon, Gabumon, Terriermon, and Karamon in this art.
All right, quit trolling.
And Patamon. This is the best art.
It Digivolves on level 4 with Tyrannomon or Raramon in name for 3. Has Armor Purge. Digicrosses -2 with level 4 with Tyrannomon, Raramon in name, and level 4 with Puppet trait. Inheritable is Barrier.
Alright.
So you can play this guy for
Oh,
3
that-
and he has Armor Purge, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say raw thoughts. I like it. I don't love it. I love the Armor Purge. I love how you can on-play him for pretty cheap. I do love how he just has Barrier. But this is
Yep.
very clearly the level 5 for the deck because it's the puppet. I mean, it's a little disappointing. I was hoping for something a little better. But I
don't know.
love
It's got a
the
bunch of
artwork on him.
keywords.
Yeah, that's got to be good. Duh.
I think...
We just,
Go ahead.
I was just saying, we just got to see what the level 6 is. That brings it all together.
So, I don't know what it's doing in its own deck, but off the top of my head, this would be good in a strategy similar to like how Numemon works. But you're also playing like ace cards and just generically good yellow level 6s. Because you can play this guy for 3 memory and then Evo into level 6 to pass turn.
Yeah, exactly.
And like you could play this guy to pass turn and he has armor purge. Like if they deal with it, let's say you could be playing level 6 aces. So if they don't do something to this card, you could blast Evo into them. Or if they deal with it.
And if you blast Evo into something with blocker, you now have barrier.
That too, but I don't think Bears is important with Blast Evos now. They just have really broken effects now. If they do deal with it, it armor purges into one of the level 4s, and you Blast Evo into level 5 in your hand. Ooh. So like that's what I think when I see this card. I don't know what this deck's supposed to do though.
Brandon, what do you want? Okay, this is Brandon. It literally says Tyrannomon in its name. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
No, he's right. It's got Tyranno in the name. It's going to be bad.
Yeah.
No, that's not what I said.
Reprint yellow memory boost. I hope this has texture on it.
Oh, yeah. Like the little flying cards, they need to be textured.
I'm sad that it has this Shumon thing on it, but this might end up looking pretty cool.
I like how he's holding a needle. Yeah. A little needle knife. He's going to stab people with needle.
He is, dude.
Why is the rest of your line so ugly?
Then we have Pawn Chessmon.
How are we going from... Okay.
This is... Yeah, I don't know. Evo's for 1 on black or yellow. On play, by trashing 1 card with a puppet trait in your hand, draw 2. Inheritable is Reboot.
Okay, so there's got to be a way to play this thing for free. Because I'm not
That's really good.
The Chessmon archetype can play it for free.
Okay, what is it doing in the puppet deck, though?
It's a puppet.
Just get to the next one.
Its type is puppet. I don't know, dude. I don't know what this deck's supposed to do.
That's really... Hey, I liked that. I like that effect.
Yeah, until you find out that 2 of the 3 or 4 rookies in the starter deck Evo for 1.
What are its types, Sean, again? Puppet?
Yeah, it's a Rookie Virus puppet.
Damn. Could you imagine you could play that in Lord Nightmon?
You can
discard a card and...
You can play it in Lord Nightmon.
It's a level 3.
It's a level 3 yellow.
Yeah.
Give your Lord Nightmon
discard a puppet to draw 2, so...
And then we have another Pawn Chessmon. This is the black and yellow version as opposed to the yellow and black version. Rookie Virus Puppet has blocker, and on deletion, by trashing 1 card with the puppet trait in your hand, draw 2.
This one's a little better, just because you can hard play him and then just say, okay, cool. Now you have a little bit of defense. I mean, he's missing out on the inheritable, though. No inheritable. Kind of feels bad.
Yeah, you could play this guy in Lord Nightmon if you could play him for free off of the Nightmon inheritable and chump block your opponent when they try to attack you.
That's what, I agree. Like you're like, I have zero security or 1 security. My opponent has like 2 attacks coming in or something. You could be like, okay, here's a blocker that at least saves me a turn.
Yeah. I mean, you're not going to be able to get the on deletion to trash card to draw 2 unless you trash another copy of himself if you're playing it like that.
I mean, if you're playing the other rookie, though, like if you're playing both of them...
Are you really about to play 2 rookies that cost 1 to Evo?
I don't know, dude. Starter Deck 19 might be a wild time in our format. I can't answer that question.
I feel like if they would just made him 0 to Evo, we'd be a lot better here.
Damn. How much longer do we have until we see the rest of their lines?
I mean, we need the 5 for green, both 6s, and whatever the other yellow level 5 is going to be. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that X Tyranno is not going to be the level 5, but...
I don't know. It definitely was screaming like it was.
Yeah, because it looked like a plush. Well, no, because it doesn't look like the weird anthropomorphic rat lady thing with rollerblades.
I'm not expecting much out of these starter decks. They look really, really mid.
They look like starter decks, not like advanced decks.
They're leaning more towards Gamma.
Which makes sense.
They're leaning more towards Gamma and less like Luga.
As far as like viability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like it's their new pet deck, it's their new pet project, but it's like were afraid to make this thing too strong, make it like Gamma. Whereas Luga came out
Brandon,
the gate running.
Brandon, will you stop pissing off the Gamma players? Okay,
No,
all one of them that
I'm
watch
sorry,
on
it's
channel.
bad. Listen, look at me. All right, I love Gamma. I love how he's a little Triceratops. I love it. His decks are bad though. I'm sorry. I tried.
Yeah, and that is it for the reveals. On to comment questions. All right, and if you want your questions answered, put them in the comments. So
That is how that works.
That is how that works. Impact_entertainment says, Sean, no, I did not mean to flex my local scene on you guys. Brandon is right. Just thought you guys had multiple locals, but I'll take the flex anyways. Yeah, so good job, Brandon, on deducing why he would assume we had multiple locals.
Serotonin in my ears.
Yeah. So I got 2 questions. First one is, you guys considering viewer battles / coaching? And second question is for Brandon and Chris. With WrestleMania this weekend, thoughts on if LA Knight was Cody's partner instead of Seth, since he's been getting cooked on the mic by everyone lately? Put your ones up, Sean, and acknowledge your tribal chief. LOL, yeah.
Yeah.
Put it up, Sean. Put it up.
LA Knight and Cody would have been pretty sick. I think Seth, the only reason they're using him is because of the prior history with Roman. Especially, but I mean, that means we miss out on this really good angle with LA Knight and AJ.
No, see, here's the thing that... Sean, we're going to go into a little wrestle talk real quick. One,
go ahead,
we don't know if they would... Okay, we don't know if they would have actually done a tag team match because CM Punk got hurt before the whole Rock announcement thing. So they had to swerve right up. We had to swerve before that.
Yeah.
And they had already established the LA Knight Royal or the LA Knight AJ Styles thing, right?
Yeah, kinda. They were already starting to cook.
I don't know who the other tag team partner could have been. I think once The Rock came up and they did that segment and people like demanded, it had to be Seth. Seth's the only one that made sense. So that's what I'll say. And then Sean, the coaching thing, viewer battles. I think Sean could do it, but it requires a lot of editing on his part. I know that much. And the coaching thing, that's also on him. He'd have to probably, as his social media manager, he'd be charging a fee. Okay.
I think this would be a lot easier if the online client that is set to release later in the year that we're apparently getting from, who is it?
Huang Zero.
Yeah, if that comes out and it has a proper spectate feature and like all the good workings for content creation, I think that's something that he could possibly look into, right?
It is something I'd be willing to explore. I don't know if I would do it for free because that would be extremely time consuming.
Yeah, I guess you could probably like host your own tournament.
Yeah, I could do something like that, and obviously, yeah, that would be free. But like, I meant specifically coaching. Like viewer battles, you know what like I would consider that.
You know what you could do with the client, with the client you have now, you could just run it through your Discord. You know.
Yeah, but like, there's no way.
You know,
there's no way to spectate.
There's no way to spectate, and there's no way.
No, I'm saying if you playing against other people, like if you wanted to like get some of your viewers in on your matches, because it's mostly only ever just you and Ben playing, and then there was that one time I played, and then Brandon. Like if we're not at work, it's mostly Ben. But like say you like what you could do is if you get people to join, more people to join your Discord, you could create like a separate table and be like, hey, at this time, guys, content like table. I'm gonna yeah, we'll do a content table. Like you'll be featured on the channel, you know, and then you could play a couple matches against people. Like obviously, it'd be like you could choose how you wanna like decide who it is, like first come first serve, or
raffle,
like
random number generator,
or like random number generator. Yeah, and you could also be like, if you want to get multiple in, be like best of one. Whoever wins game one, that's it. That's Cape. Like I go.
Dat potato internet.
All right, I'm back. Our Wi-Fi just completely crapped the bed for a moment there.
I'm back.
Yes.
Yeah, I lost it on my phone, which is how I knew it was the Wi-Fi, not just Discord.
I lost it on my TV. I went out there and changed out potatoes.
Okay, good.
New potato, fresh potato?
Fresh potato.
All right.
So, anyways, like I was saying, just like raffles and stuff like that, you know, like you could decide that way, like who you're playing against.
Yeah. That would be something maybe I will think about doing in the future, but I will say that doing something like that will take a lot of effort, and that will
Yeah.
also be time consuming. But it's something I might consider in the future. Because people don't realize like how much time it takes on the back end for stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot of
I just
work.
know it's like you said, like your easiest edited videos are definitely the online simulators you have with Ben.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and the reason why I only play on the sim with people I know and people that I'm like I can get on a Discord call with, because I actually tried one afternoon to play against randoms and never again. Cause like
Yeah, weren't they like playing like full Japan format?
yeah, there's no ladder system. There's no formal way to like queue into specific formats. So like I was just playing randoms. This was like back in like that thing's infancy, but I don't want to do it again for this reason. I'd be playing against people that are playing like 2 formats ahead, or they don't know how cards work, and like you get into that dispute, and it was just
And
frustrating.
they're trying to MS Team negate.
Yeah, and also people that just like they just picked up the game, and I'm having to like explain the game to them while trying to play a match that's like people are actually going to want to watch.
Yeah.
And like I'm explaining like super simple things, which I don't mind doing, but as far as like that being entertaining enough to actually want to watch, I don't think it is.
Especially since you're having to sit there and type it.
Yeah, I'm having to type it out, which is even more frustrating.
Yeah, you guys want to just listen to...
Yeah.
That's your audio for the whole video.
Yeah, let me explain to this guy that he needs to draw a card for Evo. Yeah, so I tried that one afternoon and recorded like 3 or 4 matches and realized quickly that like it just wasn't going to be a thing. Playing its randoms anyway.
And I think Discord just died.
Nope, it's just y'all.
Nope,
You froze
I'm
for
still
a
here.
second.
Okay. Chris, what potato did you replace it with?
Fresh
Was it a
potato
big
right out of the
potato or a little
fridge.
potato?
Frito.
Biggest we had, the biggest potato we had in there, an Idaho potato.
Oof,
Who?
big potatoes.
Idaho
It's a
potato.
Who?
Don't worry about it, Sean.
He just wanted me to keep saying Idaho.
He just doesn't know enough about potato lore to understand.
No, it's like a elementary school joke, Brandon. God, you're so stupid. Did you guys freeze again? No, okay.
No.
Watchtower Gaming
I'm shaking my head slowly.
5285 says, y'all don't think RK is playable since the wider meta has shifted more towards play by effect floodgates? Why don't we ask Chris this question?
Yes.
So Ben was playing 3 Pillowmons in his list and you were playing Royal Knights. How'd that work out for you?
He saw all 3 of them.
And what did that do?
I killed one, and then he played another one. I killed that one, and then I killed that, and then he played another one, and I just couldn't see my out to kill that one, so then I lost.
Yeah. I think it's obviously not as crippling as the play cost guys, but it still keeps you from having your win condition. And so, like, it's effectively the same thing for playing against a deck that's good enough to kill you quickly.
Listen, we can narrow it down like just like this, okay? Caleb showed up to our
God, y'all's internet. Gotta turn off the wrestling.
because no one was playing Floodgate rookies, and then we said, Caleb.
No, Chris,
I
you were
did.
gone that
It's
entire
been turned
time.
off since we came back.
That entire
Alright,
story
what about-
gone. You not here.
Yeah.
Okay, well, am I back?
Yeah, something about
No.
Caleb and something about a tournament.
So, anyways, so we had a store championship. Caleb showed up with Royal Knights. He won. We said, okay, Caleb, we'll show up. Bring the same deck. We'll show up next week with Floodgate rookies. Guess who didn't win again? Caleb.
Guess who did win? The guy who was able to play the Floodgate.
Yeah, the guy that opened with Solarmon 2 games in a row versus Royal Knights in the finals.
I saw it consistently the entire night. It was great.
Yeah. You only playing 2, Brandon. How could you see it?
Oh, he's playing 47 card deck. Of course he was.
True, dude. We never deck
That's the
checked you
secret,
in that
Captain.
tournament. Maybe it's null and void.
Go count my old deck list. We'll see.
Yeah, I think Royal Knight still loses to the play by effect rookies the same as it does to the play cost reduction. It's just a different way. You at least feel like you're sort of able to play the game, but you still can't win. Because, like, when are you going to be able to attack them?
Yeah, Omnimon is your win.
Effectively turned
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, you literally can't attack them
have-
unless you play stuff that's not going to get sucked up by your Drazel.
What you would have to do is you'd have to out it, and then immediately Omnimon swarm the board, and then hope that's enough.
Well, I mean, if you're able to out it in Omnimon, I guess the Omnimon might pass turn at that point if you played something to out the guy.
Like, let's say you have 3 memory. You hard play Omnimon, use delete effect, delete it. You hard play the second Omnimon.
You can't do that.
And then do the second
Can't.
effect.
Can't do that.
You can't?
Brandon's never
No.
played Royal Knights, for those of you that don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how
Chris
it
and I
works.
know. We've played Royal Knights.
Can you only activate 1 Omni per turn, or?
You can only reduce cost
Reduced.
by Drazel once per turn.
Oh, once per turn.
Dude, you
Yeah,
wild? Do you know how broken
Purge.
that deck would be?
Purge.
Purge, you don't get
Purge
their on
doesn't get
plays.
their on play.
Yeah.
This guy, I swear to
dude.
God, this guy.
Dude, Royal Knights would be tier 0 if 1, Purge got the on play, and 2, you could just trigger Drazel as many times as you wanted.
Here, Brandon,
hear
I
me out.
got you.
Hear me out.
You have 5
Fireball.
memory. You have 5 memory.
Fireball.
What about it?
How?
Fireball.
With you have a Marcus already on the board. Again, this is where Brandon's scenarios are. So you already have a Marcus on the board.
Okay.
Turn 1.
Then you can.
Turn 1,
You
I
can
hard play
fireball.
Marcus.
Okay.
For no value, you need to save the
For
Marcuses to pop the rookies.
No, because I had 3 copies of Fireball.
Oh, okay.
Oh my
All right.
God.
All right.
1 for each pillow.
Okay, let's
What do you
go
guys
to
not
the next
understanding about
question.
this?
Let's go on to the next question.
Brandon doesn't know, for all you Royal Knight stands. He hasn't played the deck. He hasn't felt the pain of losing to a rookie.
I'm looking
I
across
haven't felt the pain of
Pelomon.
losing to Royal Knights either, so...
I mean, there's a reason. Emerald Nip says, question.
Okay.
Do you guys
What?
play...
What's so funny?
Yeah, what's so funny? Do you guys play any fighting games? If yes, which one is your favorite?
Me and Sean played Mortal Kombat 1 a couple weeks ago. And
This was months ago.
7
dude.
months ago. And like one of the first weeks it came out, like that first week it come out, and it was we had so much fun. And then I think he had beat me a bunch that night, and then I played because I was on vacation. I had vacation that week, and then I just grinded it. And then the next time we played, I think I just absolutely kicked his butt because he hadn't picked up the game again since.
Yeah, like I played him and then didn't play for a week, and he grinded like the whole week, and then I just
Yeah.
got thrashed the next
Just
time.
to
we
get his
played.
run back.
Yeah.
And then Raiden, because I was doing that really simple, easy Raiden combo with the spin wheel. It was like triangle, O, triangle, O, triangle. O. It was so funny. And then I never played the game again.
Yeah, neither one of us did. Like that game has just been sitting in my PS5 untouched.
Mortal Kombat is fun. It's just like I'm not a competitive fighting game player, so it's not like once I beat the story and once I put in a couple hours in the game, like I think I put like 40 hours into that game, I'm just like done with it,
Yeah.
you know. And I've
I
never
have
been
them-
into Tekken or anything like that or Street Fighter. Brandon's
just have
obsessed with
them-
Dragon Ball fighting
Yeah, I
games.
just have them behind me. Yeah, I just have all the Dragon Ball games. I'm going through and buying all the classic ones. Just yesterday, I got really lucky and I found a really good deal on Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3. So now I have a Wii copy of that as well. So if you're a Dragon Ball stan, you know that's one of the best Dragon Ball fighting games as far as like arcade style goes. Not like fighters where it's like a technical fighter, but for me, my personal favorite is Budokai 3.
So
The
let me
original 2D fighter. That is the GOAT.
That is my favorite too, Budokai 3 from Dragon Ball specifically.
explain how my day yesterday went. Okay. Now
Why?
I may sound.
How is
it may
this
sound
relevant?
No, you'll hear, Sean. Okay, just give me one
Okay.
second. Let me explain.
Brandon,
how
that's also a game I own, and I think I played it like for a few days and just never touched it again.
Oh,
So-
I would run the fade on our Josh, not the Josh that plays in the online tournaments, constantly. Catch these hands every day.
Shut up, Brandon. Okay, shut up, Meg. So I was deathly sick yesterday. I'm talking about I was in bed, dying. Okay. And all I could do was, let me just lay down, let me take like some medicine, Tylenol, drink enough water, etc., etc. So I'm like, I'm gonna make sure I can make it to WrestleMania. I want to at least be semi-conscious when WrestleMania is going on. So I have like my TV turned off. I'm like laying in bed, lights are off, and all I hear for hours. Yeah, look at Brad smirking. He knows what I'm about to say. For hours. He got home with that damn game and then played it out in the living room for hours. So all I could hear was that damn game going on. And I'm in my room trying to live. I'm just trying to take a nap. I'm just trying to relax.
You want some more salt in that wound?
All I hear is stupid Dragon Ball game going on.
You want some salt in that wound? We also went and got KFC.
Love
it
KFC.
Was goated. Fresh fries, chicken nuggies.
Always.
They had these new sauced chicken nuggies where they're basically just wings, but they're chicken nuggies.
Yeah, boneless wings.
Yeah. It's always been a thing.
The spicy chicken sandwich.
Alright, so anyways.
My favorite fighting, I don't even know what to call it. Series? Yeah, my favorite fighting series of all time has always been Mortal Kombat. Like, I was introduced to Mortal Kombat 1 by a neighbor I had, and from that point on, that was my favorite fighting series.
Yeah. Also, a quick shout out. You guys can see the shelf down there. I'm a huge DC fan. Injustice was goated.
Injustice
and 2
was really good. Yep.
Where's Injustice 3? Give me Injustice 3.
I never really played those.
Those are made by NetherRealm, the same people who did Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat people.
Yeah, there was a crossover, wasn't there?
Yeah, but it wasn't
It was not that good.
Yeah, I didn't play that Mortal Kombat. Y'all froze again.
Kind of frozen again?
I can still hear you.
Okay, well, both your faces were frozen. Yeah, you're back now.
I'm just not moving a whole lot.
Your face was frozen, dude. It was not a. I'm
really still.
Yeah.
And they leaned too much into the DC side and not enough into the Mortal Kombat, like bloody, gory side.
They weren't able to go full tilt with the superheroes.
Yeah, it was cartoonish from what I've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Oreo X1000 asks, what Digimon that doesn't have a card yet would you want in the game, and how would you design the card? Effects, flavor, etc. Who wants to go first?
Oh, I already know Sean's. Sean's is so easy.
Yeah, you should.
Lord Nightmon X. No, I'm just kidding. I'll let Sean have that one. I
would just say it again.
I don't know. I would have said Parrotmon in that line that we got in Digimon 2020, but we're getting Parrotmon now.
We're getting 2 Parrotmons.
Yeah, we're getting multiple.
Terrible.
Yeah, they're both pretty bad, unfortunately. Yeah. I don't know. I'd have to take a bigger look at like the Digimon Wikipedia and like see more Digimon that I don't already know about. Cause I'm trying to think of like Cyber Sleuth or something on like that. Like maybe there's a Digimon on there that we haven't seen yet. I still agree with Brandon. I think we should have the Eaters as cards.
That is one.
And so, like, again, I think we already talked about this. They would be, like, white cards that, like...
have tamer interaction. Because that was the whole thing, heat and sickness.
Yeah, so, I don't know. I'd have to take a broader look at all the Digimon and really decide from there.
Yeah. For me, it is the Eaters. It is also Arcadiamon. He is the villain Digimon for Hacker's Memory. And we talked about this as well. I think the name is Tiger Vespamon.
Oh yeah, Vespamon.
That super cool like bee, Cannon Beamon, and all them. Just give me the bees.
Imagine Gallantmon, Sean. Imagine Gallantmon, but take away the shield and just give him 2 laser swords.
And he's a
laser,
bee.
And it's a bee.
It's a bee. It's a wasp.
It's a big bee. Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
It's pretty cool. Cool. And then, of course, Hoodiemon, also from...
No, you can't do Hoodiemon.
You could.
Maybe.
I mean, it's a bit of a spoiler, but you do a Tamer and the Digimon. Just a little 2-card combo. That's all you need.
Okay.
And then make a Wormmon, a level 3 for it. That's it. But yeah, stuff from the video games. Give us some video game stuff that's not just World. More.
All right. Lord Nightmon X, obviously. 4 cost to hard Evo. Purple / yellow or yellow / purple.
Why would you make it purple, Sean?
So it could be OP.
Oh, okay.
Well, that and the fact that the other Lord Nightmon we have is purple, but
Yeah.
Evo's on Lord Nightmon for one memory.
Like every other level 6?
Yeah, Evo's on Lord Nightmon for 1 memory. Or Evo's on top of purple or yellow level 5s for 4 memory.
And then we're giving it what Brandon suggested?
Yeah, a little bit of that and a little bit of what I originally thought a long time ago. On Digivolve, unsuspend this Digimon, and then for every other Digimon you have in play, until the end of your opponent's turn, all of the Digimon lose 1,000 DP per your Digimon, and
So
their
it's
security,
like Starmons.
and their security Digimon. So it's a blanket effect on their field and their security for every other Digimon you have in play. And it will fluctuate. So like if you play more bodies, that number goes up, but it just lasts until the end of your opponent's turn after the Evo. It has to have it has to have Lord Nightmon or X antibody in its sources to proc the unsuspend and that effect.
But generically,
But generically, it'll also gain the effect of the Lord Nightmon underneath it.
Oh my god! Hold on, this is better than
idea at all.
This is a level 6 and it's better than Ruin Mode.
Okay.
No,
To the end of your opponent, until the end of your opponent's turn, you're wild.
I'm telling you, dude. Like the game is getting to a point where like that's not that crazy.
Look at Valkyrie.
Yeah, look at Valkyrie.
Yeah, Valkyrie is pretty good.
You can play Valk for free off Lord Nightmon. That's a ruin mode on your opponent.
Yeah. My idea for Lord Knight X was actually Alliance.
I'm okay.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
okay with everything.
That. I don't think I would give it Alliance, but
I'm okay with everything Sean said, except for making the card half purple. I think it should be able to digivolve on top of yellow and purple cards for the same cost you said, and just have a little circle where it's yellow and purple.
Not being half yellow, half purple.
Yeah, not being half yellow, half purple. Because you know why?
Because then you could probably tech in DNAs like
you can play purple strategies.
You could play what's it called? Ordain.
I just hate purple.
Anything new like that.
I mean, you could still play it in the strategies if it evas on top of purple. And you could still play it in the strategies if it evas on top of Lord Nightmon because we have a purple Lord Nightmon. So that doesn't really solve your problem.
Right, no, that's fine. I'm just saying, like, I just don't want Lord Nightmon X to be yellow.
You have a half purple Lord Nightmon. You swing. Well, you have normal Lord Nightmon. You swing. You play Valk Ace. You Evo into 1 to the half, and then you DNA into Ordain.
Yeah. What's up?
What's up?
That's what I'm saying.
What's up?
Yeah, what's up? What's your point?
What's your point?
I don't see your point.
Okay.
So yeah, that would be my desired card. I honestly think it's probably going to be something in that ballpark when we finally get it. Just based on the level 6s we have now, like back when I originally theorized something like a blanket DP reduction effect, it was a little insane. But they both froze, but I'm gonna keep talking. It was a little crazy, but now we've since had Ruin Mode, we have Valk Ace, like it's actually like not insane to give it an effect like that.
Nah, at this point, I'm not even blaming our Wi-Fi anymore. I just blame Discord. This never happens with anything else.
Kristen, we tell you to get a better potato. What are you doing?
Brandon, back me up here. This never happens with anything else. My YouTube runs fine while we're all on it together. And nothing buffers over here. I can watch everything in high def. It only ever happens when we're on Discord.
Your Wi-Fi can't handle the Discord load.
It must be. It literally must be. Because I'm telling you right now, I never have these kind of problems.
It's specifically the video chat too, because if we're on Discord on our
Look, there it goes again. This is what I'm talking about.
All right. Moving on. Joe Cooper 8527 asks, are the deck lists from Eggman events, asking about the topping list? Yes, they are. We use that website to look at the top 16 lists. D Lacey 1895.
No, you skipped one. You read that comment before that.
That's not a question. Have you heard me read things that aren't questions?
All right. Well, since Chris, since he doesn't want to read it, the comment from Liam.
Are you going behind him and like fact checking him, Brandon?
No, I like to read as we go.
It's
oh my god.
From Liam Mick. I don't know how to say the rest of it. Own some numbers. Brandon is correct, and the rest of you are wrong. Muppet Christmas Carol is goated.
Oh Jesus Christ! That's not a question, Brandon. Why would he bring that up? All right, moving on. He's wrong. Go ahead, Sean.
Yeah. D Lacey 1895 says, you've mentioned Yu-Gi-Oh, but are there other TCs you're interested in / play?
No.
No.
Marvel Snap, but that's not a physical card game. So.
Yeah.
My credit card when I buy expensive cardboard.
Yeah. We do not play any other card games besides like Chris just said he plays Marvel Snap. I have played. Obviously, I played Yu-Gi-Oh competitively for a few years, several years ago. I have played Magic and I've played Pokemon before, and I've played the Dragon Ball Super card game, but not competitively. Like I've played like against my wife on our kitchen table, but I have no interest in like playing those card games competitively.
Same. Like with Magic, it was such a high. I like when we started it, we only played a little bit, but like with Magic, it felt like it was such like a high bar that you had to climb over to like understand the game and understand everything that I could just never get into it. With Yu-Gi-Oh, we grew up on it. We grew up on Yu-Gi-Oh, so that was always an easy barrier for us to enter. We tried Pokemon 2. That game is just I don't really like its mechanics. It's a little funky. That's just me. I know people love that game. And then Dragon Ball Super, never played it. And then Digimon is just such an easy game to get into and play, even if you're not like a fan of Digimon. It makes so much sense, and the memory system is just so cool and interactive. So
yeah, the barrier for entry is pretty low.
Yeah,
like price wise and just gameplay wise.
I mean, the most expensive cards are $60, secret rares, and they're not like staples that are mandatory in every deck. So this game is very cheap.
Yes. There's only a handful of cards that are worth that much, and most decks don't play them.
Yeah, like the most you're spending as a barrier of entry for a tier 1 deck is probably $150. And that's because sometimes you have to buy promos like Raremon or the Monzemon as multiples, and those can be a little pricey.
You can pick up that whole poop deck for super duper cheap, minus the Monzemons. That's it.
Yeah, the Monzemons and
the proto form.
The proto form if you're playing
Ruin mode if you're playing it, Death X if you're playing it.
Yeah, basically all the tech cards if you're playing those are what makes a deck go up a little bit. But still, you could buy like a full teched out deck for like less than $100 of the poop deck.
Yeah, Red Hybrids like cost probably $20 if you buy normal rarity. Because Blitz Omni has a reprint.
The Emperors are the only thing that's going to cost you. And
the Emperor Greymons.
And I don't know how much Ukamons are.
Oh yeah, if you're playing Uka, yeah.
But
Uko's going up a lot.
It's Ukos and Emperors, and everything else is free. Like someone would give you that from their bulk.
All right, next question. We can't take too long on each question. We don't know when our Wi-Fi is going to get shot down again.
Grim the Nightmare 6536 says, wouldn't the Mega Gargo Ace be a great counter to the upcoming Magna X, provided they don't play Blinding Ray first?
Technically.
Yes, everything about Rapidmon is a counter against Magna.
You'd have to go into the Magna X before you swing.
Yeah, like I don't. Yeah, like if they evo a Magna X first, which obviously they would do if they're correctly playing around your ace card, it's not going to do anything. Because assuming that they're bigger than you, like, because I forget how big is Magna X, like the new Magna X. Is it pretty swole?
Pretty sure he's like 12 or 13 or something. I'll pull him up.
I was gonna say 12, because regular Magna X is only 11.
Yeah,
he's 12.
So I figured he'd be 12. Okay, that's what I thought. He's like 1K bigger.
I would not say it's a great counter.
He does hit plus 3K.
Okay.
Yeah, he has DP buffs.
I would not say it's a great counter, because if they play around your cards correctly, which they're supposed to, unless, they're Brandon and only have one thought, and that's to turn their card sideways, it's not really going to counter anything because they're just going to play around it. So no, probably not. Ace cards in general are going to be really cool, though.
Yes.
J Fox 50 says...
Oh, no. Okay, no, we're not frozen. Okay.
No, sorry. So it's not a question, but I will read the comment.
That's a very good story. It's very wholesome.
I was skimming through to see if there was an actual question in there, but viewer comment for the next podcast. I got a funny story. I've been watching Digimon season 1 and 2 with my 2 oldest kids, boy 8, girl 5. I'm assuming that's not their names. The oldest has been learning how to play the card game because he likes the IP. Hell yeah. Nice. So I thought it would be clever to buy the bunny deck and put it in their Easter baskets. Makes sense.
That's cool. Yep.
They open it in the morning and think it's the coolest. We continue the rest of our day. Mid-afternoon, I'm listening to the podcast while cleaning the house, and I see the cards on the table. They were the girls. I stop the podcast and tell her to come over and hand me a card one at a time, and I'll put them in the cute sleeves that came with it. Halfway through the deck, she hands me the gold rare Rapidmon. My stomach feels like it is in my throat, and I quickly sleeve it and put it in a screw-down acrylic case. Luckily, it was still near mint. I showed her the price, and she was like, wow, that's a lot of money. No, I'm not going to keep it for myself or sell it. She's going to be able to keep it. It'll make a good memory. I did end up finishing the podcast, by the way.
That is so wholesome.
Just the thought of getting that and going up to your kid and be like, look how much money this was. Do you see this?
Look how much this is. You better...
You are rich.
Protect this with your life. Yes, that is a very wholesome story, and I'm glad that you were getting your kids into the card game.
Honey, that looks like a really shiny card. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I got a golden ticket.
It's like
awesome.
when it's like we were opening our boxes for what set was it? The set with the Superior X7.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Chris would hand his packs over to his girlfriend at the time, and she opened up the gold X7.
She's like, "Is this any good?" And I'm like, "Oh my god!"
And then,
so it says
after that, we're opening our case of BT14, and as we're going through the case, I say out loud like, "Oh, hey guys, while we're opening the case, look out for the Paladin mode alt art. It's like special white gold alt art." And my wife just looks at me and goes, "Oh, you mean this?"
Without a sleeve on it. I was about to jump across and just. I was gonna Brandon her.
Oh my god! It was just so funny because she had just opened it out of a pack as I said it, and I was like, "Okay, yeah, that card."
Yeah, I've cracked cases with my wife before, and routinely would find alt arts in her rare stacks.
Yep.
It's understandable pre texture.
No, this was post texture. I would count the alt arts once we got done opening the case to make sure all of them were accounted for and being like, okay, we're missing some, time to go digging. And I'd pull them out of her rare stack. I mean, in her defense, she doesn't play the game, so she doesn't know until, because we didn't have the stars back then. So she would have to hold it in the light to see the texture in order to know that it's an alt art. So she gets a pass, but I'd still laugh every time because I'm like, girl, this is a $30 card.
Yeah, I still have yet to pull a chase card, unfortunately.
Good. All right, next question.
That's all the
That's the
questions.
last one.
Yeah, I've pulled.
Sweet.
You pulled the Omnimon,
Yeah.
alright?
I pulled the
You
ghost.
won.
I pulled the ghost Omni on the channel.
On camera.
Yeah, on camera. The morning after the pre-release for BT6, I pulled it on camera. I also pulled the gold Cross 7 off camera out of like a half case that I opened by myself. I think those are the only two ones that I've pulled.
You're definitely gonna have to do a case opening of 17. Those SP rares are so sick.
I mean,
Of course, if you don't pull anything good, don't post it. But
yeah. Do you guys want to watch me open an entire case? Let me know in the comments.
get ready to put the video on ×2.
Yeah. Apparently, some people can't handle that, Chris.
No, actually, I'm the same way now. I watch everything at 1.25 or 1.5. I can't go all the way up to 2 because I still need to I still want to be able to tell.
It's starting, dude.
Only on YouTube.
It's starting. So you will eventually get to the point where you can speed it up and go push yourself beyond that, and you will
go even further beyond.
Because that's how I started. Whenever I found out that I could speed YouTube up, I'm telling you. I mean, I never was like super adamant about not speeding up beyond that, like you are being for some reason. But I would speed it up 1.25, 1.5, and then I just pushed myself. And after a few months, I was able to go 2x, and I've never looked back.
Because you sent us a message saying you were watching Dune on your phone, and you wish you could turn on 2 times. I said, I can never be like this. Never be like this, Chris.
I regularly watch movies on YouTube at 2 times speed.
That's ridiculous.
It's not.
Blasphemy. It is. I'll never do that.
Specifically go out of my way to not increase the speed, just despite Sean.
I mean, that's your loss, dude. I get more stuff done in the day because I watch things on 2 times speed.
That's why I do it. I'm like, okay, I can get this video done 1.5 times the speed.
See, I like listening to movie breakdowns and stuff like that, and like people talking about cinematic theories and stuff like that. But today, I listened to a 50+ minute video breaking down how excellent Dune 2 is.
25-minute video.
I listened to the whole 50 minute.
25-minute video. Oh, something else about 2x. So I watch back the matches at 2 times speed, but I actually slow it down to 1.5 times speed to record the commentary. One, so people aren't turboing through stuff. I don't have to constantly pause. But also 2, because if I watch most matches back at 2 times speed, I struggle to keep up the narration because everything's moving so quickly. But I watch my matches back at 2 times speed too.
I love how I can always hear you pressing the pause button.
Yeah, it's my space bar.
Yeah, I figured. With how clicky it was, I was like, that's the space bar.
Yeah, I have a clicky keyboard.
I love clicky keyboards. They're so satisfying.
Yeah. Chris, you look dead.
I can't even see him. Ever since we came back, he's just been a loading bar.
Oh, really?
So I've been enjoying not having to look at his face.
Oh, that's
messed up.
No, I can see both of you just fine. I would have said something if he was a loading bar.
It's just like the 2 squares dancing around each other.
All right, boys. I'm getting out of here.
All right,
go back to bed.
Watch this WrestleMania. Put your ones up.
Go back.
Shut up.
I'll put a 1 up.
No, I refuse. Okay. Put your 3 7s up.
3-7. Why 3-7?
Are you serious?
Yeah. I want to know if he knows. Why 3-7?
What? You want to know if I know?
Yeah.
No, you don't. You just don't know.
No, you could have randomly heard that and then not know the truth behind it.
What truth? What are you talking about?
The truth, Sean.
Dude, he's talking out his butt.
He is. He's legit. Just He's just
saying it. He's doing what he does, where he talks with enough conviction that we're just supposed to believe him. Anyway, boys, I just need you to read Sean's channel and then get back to us on that 37.
Yeah, figure it out. Stupid.
All right. Bye.
Later.